webcast. Sure, it's been a little while, like a week or so since, well, 2 weeks since I've done this. I've always been honest about the reason. Skyrim, Modern Warfare 3, shit's got me, but on to other things right now. Got other stuff to talk about besides why I haven't been doing this, because I'm doing it right now. So, anyways, let's go on to Old Wounds, which can't exactly happen this week. And this is actually something I ran into last week before I did this. And the issue is waiting so long in the week to do the webcast. You know, trying to do it so late. A couple of the games have already happened. You know, either one of the games or like this past week, 3 of the games have already happened. There's no point in talking about last week. So, you know, we're kind of going to forego the Old Wounds part and just talk about. Well, we are going to talk about a little something. I just wanted to point something out. We've got 2 divisions in our league, right? We've got the high-scoring division, these guys here, and then we've got my division, the low-scoring division. Now, the reason why that's important is because the last 3 weeks, out of 12 games, the high-scoring division actually won 10 out of 12 of them. It's insane, but that's, you know, total domination. In the first 4 weeks of the season, we also, our divisions played each other. Now, in those 4 weeks, the high-scoring division won 12 games out of 16. And that's a 75%. So, I mean, you put both of those together, and you won like 22 games out of 6. I mean, the shit's insane, but, you know, it's cool in its way. I mean, you know, your guys' division, yeah, it's turned into a hell of a matchup, and I can't wait to see how that actually turns out, just to see who I'm going to end up playing in the first round of the playoffs. But enough about that. Let's talk about other things. Let's talk about what's going on this week. First up, we got the Lowtown Chronic at Kiss My Ass and Wad, Whit versus Nick. You know, at first glance, Whit came out to an early lead, and that's because he had half of his team playing on Thursday on Thanksgiving already. They've already played. That's an awful lot of people playing on a short week, and it showed. So it's a good thing that Maurice Morris and Brandon Marshall didn't do shit the week before. That way they were actually able to come out and do a little something for Whit on Thanksgiving. So thankful for that. Now, Nick has his people spread out pretty much over the entire week of football this week. So we'll watch him chip away at Whit's lead, and we'll see what happens. You know, hopefully Arian Foster and Chris Johnson will have good games for him, and we'll see what happens. I mean, Arian Foster, he's playing Jacksonville, and he did pretty well against them last time. He ran for like 130-something yards. Was it 33 or 35 carries and a touchdown? So, you know, we'll see if he can do it again. And Chris Johnson is pretty much running against the worst running defense of the league, almost the worst. So we'll see how that works out. We'll see if Chris Johnson can turn it around for Nick. So I'm going to give that one to Kiss My Ass and Wad. I think Nick's gonna take that one, and I don't think it's going to be very close when it's all said and done. Next game, we got the Loveland Clutch at the California Lady. So we've got the top of my division versus Dion, you know, right there in the middle. At first glance of this one, I don't really see a whole lot coming out of it, you know, really not a whole lot that really just, you know, makes me jump with excitement. I mean, Dan does have a positive running game this week. I mean, he's got, you know, Matt Forte and LaShawn McCoy, and they're going to do, you know, well in their, you know, respective games they're playing, you know, Oakland and New England or whatever. So, you know, it's good that he's going to have a good running game because he's handicapping himself with Eric Decker. So we'll see how that works out for him. So I'll give this match to Dan, but I am going to point out one thing, that Dion has already pulled an upset. She's the only person in my division that's actually won outside of my division besides Dan, because Dan has, you know, he's doing really well this year. But Dion's the only person other than him that actually went outside the division. And Dan is on a 3-game skid, so we'll see what happens there. So next up, we got the Battle of Longmont versus the Leprechauns at the Fighting Irish. Now, this match was interesting because it started Thursday morning, or at least for me, Thursday morning. Both using the quarterbacks and a couple of high-profile wide receivers in the early game. You guys know the one I'm talking about, Green Bay versus Detroit. Well, I mean, you know, Aaron Rodgers and Dylan obviously got the better part of that. You know, what a difference, you know, 3 interceptions and a touchdown makes, right? Sorry, Matthew Stafford. Better luck next week and throw it to your damn tight end. So, but we'll see what happens. I mean, that's Aaron Rodgers doing what Aaron Rodgers does. So, I mean, you knew he was going to do that. Unfortunately, Matt Stafford couldn't do what we've seen from him this year. But, you know, he's younger, so I guess we understand that. John's going to need a big showing from Roddy White and Wes Walker. So, we'll see what happens there. But on that one, I'm going to give that one to Dylan. He's still the Haitian. Plain and simple. Voodoo magic. Serrano's in the house. He's the Haitian. That's all there is to it. So, and last but not least, we got Crazy Town Bitches at the Long Beach Rage. Now, both of us had poor showings on Thursday from our players that participated that day. It's not very much that I'm happy about. So, we'll see what happens. In order for Melissa to win, she's going to need Arizona to go big. She's going to need her running back Beanie Wells and Fitzgerald to go off that day, and we'll see what happens. I mean, both of them on the same day. I don't know. I hope not, personally. And she's got Cam Newton at quarterback, and here's what I've noticed, is that Cam Newton's actually thrown 11 touchdown passes this year, and 5 of them have gone to Steve Smith. So if Cam Newton throws more than 1 touchdown this week, chances are my guy's going to be on the receiving end of it. So, that should balance out there. I should be able to actually nullify Cam Newton, hopefully. At least take a good chunk out of what he's going to get with Steve Smith if I'm lucky. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to give that one to me. I'm going to say that I'm going to win that one just because I want to win that one. But keep in mind, I've been saying that I'm going to win this game all year long, and I've only been right 4 times. So that's that. Alright, so that's my picks for the week. Now on to my, rant central. And first and, going from there, we've got the Jackson portion of the rant. First, Fred Jackson. I can't really be mean. I feel bad. You broke your leg. You played a hell of a season. You've pretty much been the reason why my season hasn't been a complete disaster. So I appreciate you. So go ahead and, go get yourself healthy, and maybe you'll be able to help your team in the playoffs. Wait, what? Not going? Oh. Well, when? That long? Oh, okay. Oh. This just in. Buffalo's probably not going to the playoffs. So, we'll see you next year, Fred Jackson. But, talking about complete disasters and my season and reasons why, we have Deshaun Jackson. Thank you, Deshaun Jackson. All the dropped passes, thank you. Sleeping through practice, thank you. Just being a jerk off on the field, thank you. I mean, wow, talk about mediocrity, overhyped mediocrity at its best. Thank you for that. I appreciate. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. Just remind me to leave you off my dream team next year, okay? And speaking of jackass, last but not least, Ndamukong Suh, come on down. Wow, when you came into the league, I was excited. I was actually happy to see you come into the league. Defensive player, just doing what you're doing, going as high, where you went in the draft. It was awesome. It's great to see you. And off the field, you seem like a great person, already making an instant impact in Detroit when you got there. And just, from what I understand, just great in everything that you do off the field. But on the field, you're horrible, man. It's just, you can't stand who you are on the field. I mean, I understand unleashing the monster and all that, but you take it too far into a very, very dirty, bad place. I can, the talking the shit that you talk, that's one thing. Trying to rip the head off everybody you come into contact with on the field, that's kind of pushing it. But last week, what you did down there in Green Bay, stomping on that person and shoving his face in the dirt, I mean, that was obviously dirty, dirty play, and that was just nasty. And then trying to lie about it afterwards, come on, man, you're a grown-ass man, you play in the NFL, you got million-dollar endorsements, you need to stand behind your actions. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if you're even going to have half those endorsements next year. Although maybe you might. I mean, I could see the next Subway commercial with you and the fat guy Jared tag teaming Ronald McDonald and the Taco Bell Chihuahua, on Detroit, on the field in Detroit. So that'll be an awesome commercial. So when that happens, I'll be there watching and laughing. But I hope you enjoy the fines, and I hope you enjoy the ejections, because I don't think they're going to let off them anytime soon. Okay, I'm done. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week. Good luck to everybody, and we'll talk later. Have a good one.